Welcome to the Loyal Family LF podcast, where we the most illest, most realest podcast alive. I'm your host, J Ham LF. I'm with my co-host.
I bet you think my songs are about you, don't ya? But if the shoe fits, wear it like a gun in a holster. Niggas been sleeping on Barry like comfy sofas. God's gift felt the energy before I even approach ya. And if you think I'm quiet, that means I don't fuck with you. My silence is the way I make niggas feel uncomfortable. I grind hard, mind my business, and never tell anybody my fucking moves. And then I sit back and watch all the corny shit these niggas do. And these bitches too. You see, I burn bridges with no remorse and I don't give a fuck, dude. See, y'all niggas saying, Barry, I ain't know you was on that kind of time. Y'all niggas run from y'all demons. I make friends with mine. It is I, your guy, Mr. Black Barry the Chef, a.k.a. Jehovah Barry, a.k.a. the Melanin Messiah, a.k.a. the most melanated one, a.k.a. the Duke of all men. What is good, everybody? How y'all feeling?
What's good, man? We got a very special guest in the building. You mind introducing yourself?
I'm Coach Ronnie from the BK Stompers.
All right, shout out to Coach Ronnie. But before we get into anything, let's shout out our sponsors, Frontline Millionaires, where you can get your Frontline Millionaires gear at www.frontlinemillionaires.shop.
Also sponsored by I'm Different and It's Okay by Stephanie_Kia, 684 on Instagram. Just click the link in the bio.
So what's good, man? How y'all brothers feeling today? Everything good, man. We in the building with legendary Coach Ronnie from the BK Stompers. I mean, I've been watching this brother for maybe, I want to say at least 8 to 10 years. I know he probably been doing it longer than that, but for the people that don't know, let them know who Coach Ronnie is.
I mean, I'm just a coach from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I end up getting kids that were in my same circumstances when I was young. You know, I try to be a leader for them, give them some guidance. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes you got to make sacrifice, you know, so we could build a future. So I've been doing that for some years, and I touch some lives. So that's what keeps me going. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you say that keep you going. So like, what was the first idea that sparked that made you want to even become a coach?
Well, I mean, I played ball myself growing up, and I always felt like I lacked that. Like I could have went further if I would have had somebody to give me the game, somebody I could trust that knows that even if it wasn't about them being a player themselves, maybe they just had the experience to pass that on. So I try to be that to my young boys. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of them don't have, you know, some of their families are not engaged in the sport, and they don't have that direction. So they out here making decisions for themselves that will affect their life, not knowing the outcome. And you really only got one chance to get it right.
Facts. That's facts.
Definitely.
So for the people that don't know, let them know how long you've been a coach.
Man, I'm going to say my first group of kids is now 32. So, I mean, they had to be 15, 14 when I started.
So
So,
you say about 15, 16 years,
yeah,
well,
facts.
around that. That's crazy.
Boys to men.
Yeah, that's crazy. So growing up with a lot of these guys, you still coach a lot of these guys today?
Yeah, a lot of them, and I still got relationships with them. To this point, like some of my first group of guys phasing out. Like a lot of them are just getting older and they moving on to different things.
Give us some names.
Keanu Rochford, Sean Armand,
Shout out to Keno, man. We just had him
Brandon
up here.
Frazier, Bryce Jones, Jamal Williams. Like, I mean, I could go. The list
Yeah,
is crazy.
yeah.
Naming a lot of good players.
Yeah,
a lot
right.
of good
Like,
players.
but I had all of them dudes when they was children. You know,
Facts.
some of them weren't even household names at the time, but they became that with the growth. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, we noticed. Like I noticed, you started coaching at an early age.
yeah, facts.
Yeah,
I
so
was young.
that's it's like so. Like how did you?
Shit. If I got 18 years in, I'm 42 now. So you want to say, what was I, 24, 23?
The passion to do that at that age?
Right.
Yeah.
And I was still heavy outside. I was still
Yeah, moving
fake
around.
playing ball myself. Like,
Okay, so you play ball.
Still gotta
yeah,
get
yeah, I used to hoop. I was solid. You know, like I said, I didn't have that guidance. There's a couple things that could have been different. I could have did different had I known better. You know, so I try to be that to them because those decisions count.
Okay, so did you start at the BK Stompers when you first started coaching?
No, I actually was a BK Stomper when I was a kid.
Okay, so it was
That
actually before you coaching.
years before me.
How
Like,
long
this is
has
a
it
big.
been?
See, people don't know. Like, it's a lady by the name of Miss Ruth Payne that
Shout out to her.
she started all of this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I just was the youth injection into it because she started getting older. You know, she's still out there. You know, but she can't move the way she used to move. She's
Yeah.
not as accessible. She's not as in the loop as I am.
Yeah.
So I kind of took it upon myself, feeling like it was a good thing that they did. I wanted to keep it going.
Okay, yeah, just say her name one more time.
Ruth Payne.
Ruth Payne, and she's the person that created the
Yeah,
BK
she started
Stompers.
the BK
So
Do you
Stompers.
know when, like, what year it started?
I'm
Yeah.
sure this is well before me. Like
Okay.
this been going on.
So this ain't no.
Yeah, this ain't no
Yeah.
new upstart thing. You hearing
Yeah.
the name now because of
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
but this been going on. It was a little
Okay.
more local. I just took it and
And
put it on a
did
broader
your thing with it.
spectrum,
Yeah.
right?
And
So
the name fit.
so just let some of the people know some of the tournaments that you coached in.
I mean, I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I was the first Brooklyn dude doing that. I went up. I took my dudes from Brooklyn. We went up to Dykeman. We went up to Hoops in the Sun in the Bronx. You know, Lower East Side, West Fourth, uh, whatever you could think, Gersh Park. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whatever you could think of, we did it a few times.
Facts. And
So,
I
high
definitely,
school and the pro level.
I definitely could be a witness to that because we be them guys in there rooting for BK Stompers because you know it's not too many Brooklyn dudes in Dykeman,
Facts,
and then we
facts.
got to go against the Skull Gang and all of them.
Facts.
Yeah, but
Oh, you know
definitely.
the uptown treatment. You gonna get it
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
time.
but we definitely appreciate the talent you bring. You know what I mean? What you look for like in a player that make you want him to play for your team?
That's a good question because I don't always go after. I stamp dudes. Feel me? I don't need somebody else to tell me a dude is ready. I know when they're ready.
Yeah,
You feel me? Just because of what I'm looking for, certain things I see that makes me say, "Yo, this kid is worth my time. He's worth my sacrifice." Because I'm here. I'm away from my family. I'm away from doing things I like to
Facts.
do. So this got to be of some fun to me, and I got to feel like it means something.
Facts.
You know, so when you got the right type of kids and they like you see the hard workers, those are the ones, you know, you got a little bit of talent, but you willing to put the work in to get where you need to get. You know, you willing to just completely be a student and listen and learn. You know, because I tell all the kids, yo, man, you got to have hard workers because when the shots ain't falling, you still got to be productive some kind of way.
Facts. You gotta
So
play
you got,
defense.
I done seen the dudes that was all world that didn't pan out, and I seen the dudes that was nothing that turned into something. You know, and it's usually those dudes that win because they understand the process of hard work.
Facts.
They know what it is to be not that good and then become the better dudes, and then they start passing those dudes that was naturally more talented than them. You know what I'm saying? The naturally more talented dudes, they don't work as hard because the game comes easy to them.
Yeah.
So it's
they
like,
more
okay,
lackadaisical
yeah.
with
So
it.
they like, okay, and then what happens is the hard workers start catching up to the
Yeah.
naturally talented, and now
Just
Hard
like
work
Shaq and
always-
Kobe.
the hard working gonna keep going because
Like
now
Shaq
I've
and
been
Kobe.
doing this for years.
Yeah.
You
How
know?
that turn out? Like, for instance, if you got two players that you coaching and you see one starting to pass the star or the center player, how that
Well, usually the players that have that mentality, they always had that mentality. It's hard to get through to those dudes because it's like how I'm gonna tell you to work when you getting 30 on everybody everywhere. But you not understanding what's gonna come in the future because these dudes are not working on their body. They're not working because they feel like, wow, nobody could guard me. So it's harder to get through to those dudes. The
Facts.
dudes that's getting their ass bust, it's real easy to tell them they doing something wrong, and they be
Yeah,
like, all right, well,
easy.
I'm getting my
Yeah.
ass bust, so it gotta be a way I can fix this. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
really can't say too much.
yeah, but so that's the problem. When you got the kids that got the talent, getting them to work if it's not natural.
Yeah. Facts.
How young do you start coaching?
Well, now you know we gonna be running the gym out in East New York, so I'm starting kids of all ages, all skill levels, girls included.
Facts.
You know, I'll be putting that information out. I'll get it to y'all so y'all can promote it.
Definitely,
But-
definitely gonna promote it.
Yeah, we
Definitely.
just like I said, it's no age limit on this. The younger the better. You get them started.
I got
get
a
'em used to
5-year-old son. Not to cut you off, I got a 5-year-old son that I'm fiending to get into basketball.
Yeah, get them, bring them through. You getting the structure at a young age is good for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
they learn.
definitely didn't have that. I didn't go to no camps, nothing.
Right, and that's a lot of kids' problems. So like when I first started, that's how I started. I had a partnership with 5 Star.
Yeah.
I sent a bunch of my kids for free.
Yeah.
I never could go to 5 Star because my family never could afford it. So once I had the connection to do it,
Yeah,
I
start
did
looking
it.
out for the other kids
Yeah,
that
so
you
you
can
know,
help.
and that's been my thing ever
That's
since. It's
fire.
like, you know,
That's fire.
get them those experiences, and then that changes lives. Like you go, like I play ball for the Broncos. Shout out Gary Sims, may he rest in peace. Doc Naselli, may he rest in peace.
Shout out to
and
them
they gave me a
guys.
scholarship to go to high school, and I went to school with rich people, and I wasn't rich.
Yeah.
But just seeing a different way of living, different lifestyle, it gave me a little different
Open up
motivation.
your mind.
Right, to stuff that I would have never been exposed to in my neighborhood. You feel me? Like traveling on teams, going places, seeing different things. You know, it's like, okay, you know, this is lit. Like other people need to see this. You feel
Facts.
me?
Yeah.
So
What school was that?
I went to Delphi Academy.
Delphi, yeah, we heard of that.
Upstate New York.
Nah, it's in Bay Ridge.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
it's closed down now. It was a private school.
Yeah, I remember.
But
Yeah.
at the time, it was tough. We had a couple of D1 players with me. It was solid.
That's what's up.
I remember that.
So I know saying that you played and coached in a lot of tournaments. Like if you had to pick one, like what's your favorite tournament?
That's tough. That's tough because, like, I have my favorite things about
Certain
every
tournaments,
tournament. Like,
yeah.
like you know, like when it comes to one of my favorite high school tournaments, and one of the hardest to win was Dykeman.
Mm.
That was hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like you from
You come-
Brooklyn,
you from the other
in
side.
Harlem,
Yeah.
and there's 10 other Harlem teams that they would rather see win
Yeah,
than you.
So you gotta go extra.
Yeah,
gotta go
you
extra
can't
hard.
go up there.
Might not even get the calls, you know.
Yeah, and they go hard too. Like they rep their hood. They ain't playing. Like when we played them in the championship, my first Dykeman high school championship, that might have been one of the illest things I ever did because they
Yeah.
had 5 NBA dudes.
Mm.
I just
Like,
looked at
start
I just saw
five.
that post on your
Five.
What it said?
Yeah,
Yo,
he said us against the
BK
NBA.
Stompers versus the whole NBA at 7 p.m.
That was fire.
Yeah, five NBA dudes,
Yeah.
Word.
and we got that W convincingly.
Oh, y'all won that
Yeah,
game.
yeah, that was my
Oh,
first
yeah,
Dykeman
give me some
championship.
memorable names.
On their team, they had Jose Alvarado, who just got
Yeah,
signed.
yeah, we used to watch
They
him.
had-
We used to watch him since he was in high school.
They
We used
had
to go to his
Isaiah
games.
Washington. They had
Jelly
Nick
fan.
Richards. They
Mhm.
had what's his name? Jordan.
Wasn't Wani
something.
wasn't on that team?
No,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I remember Nick Richards. They was praising him.
Yeah. They had Nick Richards. They had
Ja.
Ami Diallo,
Tommy,
and they
yeah.
had another dude, Jordan
Hami.
something. He
Okay.
was another big time hooper.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I had a bunch of like two.
Yeah.
I had my boy Keith Will, Ray Sound. They were solid,
Yeah,
and a
Keith
bunch
Will,
of
yeah.
regular
Yeah, we watched
dudes.
Keith
And
Will
we
since
went
he
up there
was
and
Blockman.
handled them light.
Yeah.
Bunch of dudes that was just that Brooklyn. We just had that edge.
Facts.
They wasn't scared. They didn't care about a name. They
Mhm.
dug in, and we convincingly won that game. That was a big one for me.
Yeah, shout out to that. I also noticed you won a big tournament this year, the $50,000 tournament with New Rochelle.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
tough.
just tell the people what was that like, man.
I mean, it was
That
fun.
experience.
They tried to line us first.
Yeah.
They had us playing against Jadakiss team, which is
Yeah.
basically the home team.
Mhm.
So they was up there trying to do the job, but we got that done.
That was a
Mm.
good game.
Then we had to get through R2K. They was pretty tough too. They had a couple NBA dudes. They were solid.
Yeah,
And then we ended up seeing Sean Bell in the championship,
yeah.
and we was able to get through them too. So
That was
we
fire.
we worked for that bag.
Yeah, that
but
was a good one.
50K for 3 games, you can't beat that with a stick.
That
That's
was
a fact.
What's your relationship like with cousins? I know you had cousins.
Yeah, that's my boy. He been with us since young. Like he never really played with nobody else. Like he wasn't really outside like that.
Yeah.
So once like we had a connection to him because he played with New Heights.
Yeah,
And one of my homies was the coach of New Heights. So he was like, when you running around the Dykeman and all that, bring him with you.
Yeah.
So we've been tight for some years.
Mm,
So they be
fire.
tight up there because he don't play with them. They be tight. They
Yeah.
hate that shit.
He from out there.
'Cause, he from what? He from Yonkers or he from Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
So they be tight, right? So they don't like that. He be playing with a whole Brooklyn team. Like
That boy good.
That's fire. That's fire. But yeah, shout out to y'all for doing that because that was big going up this North Shell.
yeah, that was the
And
highlight
bringing
of
that
my
back
summer,
home for
man.
Brooklyn, man. That's a fire. We needed that, man. You feel me? Because I'm gonna keep it 100. Like even in Gersh, like I watch you, and like certain teams. If you playing against, I'm rooting for the Stompers. But like only team I go against the Stompers against is NR and Dub. You feel
Right,
me?
of course.
Yeah, you know that. But
You gotta do
anybody else between Sean Bell, because I just love the Stompers. You feel me? Like because I just see like you got certain talent, and you know how to coach your talent very well. Like certain people like Romy. I like Romy.
Yeah, I love
Tyler Bourne.
T.
Keno, one of my favorites, so I'll be always
I
out there
love him.
rooting for him.
He's the definition of work ethic.
That's a fact.
That's one dude that he got it out the mud.
Mhm.
He's one of the main reasons why I continue to coach.
Facts. Yeah, and
He
we just-
was when he first came, he wasn't good at all.
Yeah,
And he used to have me in the gym every day because he
Working.
wanted to get better. I told him, I'm just going to give you a jersey.
yeah.
You got to earn it.
Mm.
You know, at the time he was raw. He had long arms. He was young, but he wasn't really good. But
Yeah.
when I say work, he put that work in.
That's
Yeah.
crazy
And I
because he
could-
had to put some work in.
And I could
'cause
never,
That's fire.
I could, like, I'm telling you, when I started noticing that he was getting good,
Yeah.
and I started telling people, they said I was bugging for years. They was
Yeah.
like, Keanu trash. Like, that's just what the dudes is telling me. I'm like, because what happened with us is we was on the road, So a lot of people, and it wasn't like now with the social media and all of that as much as it is now.
Yeah.
So we was playing everywhere, but nobody was getting to see that.
Yeah.
And we wasn't in Brooklyn. The dudes wasn't coming all the way to Dykeman a lot of times.
Facts.
Or they wasn't going to go to Hoops in the Sun and see. But I'm watching this shit. I'm like, yo, this nigga,
You
he started, he started to cook up. So I'm start telling niggas, they like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But then after like a year or two, they start noticing the shit too. Like, yo, this nigga be wilding now.
Facts.
And he became one of the top power forwards out here. And he did that for some years.
Yeah, that he was definitely one. He's like, I ain't gonna lie, he's definitely my favorite power forward in the street basketball. Like,
Facts.
and
Like,
I
I
tell that
watched
to
him grow.
a
I
lot of
watched him
players.
grow.
But he was up here the other day and he was telling us about you. He said that he played with a bunch of these guys and a bunch of these tournaments, but you the only one that called them for the tournament, the New Rochelle joint. Yeah, so he was telling me basically like you called him for the New Rochelle joint.
Yeah, I feel like, my only disconnect with Kenu sometimes is he should have never, ever played with nobody else.
Yeah.
But when he got hot and the people started calling his name, he started kind of answering a little bit. That's what we
but
do.
you know how it go.
Me and him, but that's family forever. Like, I don't own these guys.
Yeah.
They putting the work in. So
Facts.
if you getting offered money and you need that money, I don't stand in the way of stuff like that. Because especially once they get past a certain age, it's like niggas got responsibilities. Pardon me, I could say niggas.
Yeah.
Gucci, yo, bro.
But like, people got responsibilities. So if somebody giving you 200-300 a game, win or lose, I can't be mad at that.
Facts.
Because I'm not matching that. I'm already paying entry fee, ref fee.
Yeah.
I'm getting due to and from the game. I make sure everybody's sturdy. You feel me? But
Facts.
at the same time, these is also grown men at this stage, at least at the pro level.
Yeah.
My
facts.
high school kids a little bit different because they younger. They don't do for themselves. But
Yeah.
if you're a grown man, I don't even want to teach you to be relying on me or any other man. So if you got a chance to go earn it, so just for your presence, go do that. It's no static. It's nothing. Just as long as you hollered at me like a man and we had a conversation about it, it's cool. Never no static.
So what if it's one of your favorite tournaments? Like you don't give a fuck.
I mean, no. I don't get me wrong. I'm gonna pull a loyalty card at some point. You could be being because you getting paid in 5 tournaments. You could pull up for me when I need you. I ain't trying to jam your money up, but at the same time, you a stomper before anything, right? You gotta have that type of loyalty for yourself. But this is y'all brand. We gonna keep this alive. If you gonna be a hired gun elsewhere, I'm knocking that. I'm not knocking that. You feel me?
Yeah. But I think I think that's fire, and I want to commend you for him. He told me that he started coaching him at the age 15.
Yeah.
And for him to come play with you at the age he is now, that's fire. A lot of people don't keep those relationships for so long. So like, how do you keep your relationships?
I mean, like I said, it's a family thing. We don't just do basketball. Like when these guys go to college, I'm there for them.
Yeah.
If they overseas, if they ever playing with that money and they need something, I'm there for them. And that's any of my guys that I ever had.
Yeah.
It's never been when it's basketball season, I don't call you like these other dudes.
Yeah.
So that's why I be a little offended sometimes because it's like I'm here all the time. These other dudes start calling you in May. You feel me? I'm here. I'm always here.
Yeah.
Something go wrong in your life personally. I done took dudes to get their license. I done took you to your first strip club. Like I done took some of my players on trips because we won. You feel me? So it's like it's much bigger than basketball.
Facts. That's real. Like when we bring anybody that's dealing with like street basketball onto the podcast, we want to ask them like, and this could be back then or now. Like we want to know your top 5. It don't got to be in a certain order, but like
Top 5
players. We want to know not on your team or nothing. Like outside of the Stompers, we want to know like
Top 5
Taz
shooters.
now.
All right,
Yeah,
we could do his top 5 players and we could do his top 5 stompers.
There we go.
Nah.
tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I want to make it change.
Top 5 players is tough because
I know.
you know what it is? You know why that's tough? Because there's so many, like, there's sections in people's career where they might have went from not being the top guy to the top guy, or around this time they was the top guy. Like, cause everybody had legendary runs. Like my man from Coney Island, y'all know Man.
Yeah, we know Man. Shout out to Man.
As a stomper in high school.
Yeah, he's killing.
Legend.
Yeah.
Romy, high school career,
Romy's
legend.
a bull. Shout out
Feel
to
me and
Romy.
Kadari. Jay Will,
Yeah.
Unlimited, his first few years of really touching the streets, legendary.
Shout
you know
out to
what I'm
Jay
saying?
Will.
Keanu, big stomper, just JoJo Swift, big stomper. A lot of dudes had some good runs, so it's hard for me to say 5 because they all had their time. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, like Kev and Tyler Bourne, they
Facts.
out there doing their numbers. Lightfoot been doing his thing.
Facts. Definitely. Shout out to Lightfoot.
Keanu, big
Kev.
stomper. Yo, so these dudes, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Like if Bryce Jones was a stomper before he was anything else. So and
Shout
I
out to
tell
Bryce.
dudes, they ain't even know Bryce when I
Yeah.
brought Bryce outside.
Facts.
And they didn't believe in him if they did know him. They didn't know he was going to become what he is now. So it's like, that's my thing though. Even Ian Davis of Ric Flair.
Flair, shout out to Flair.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Flair.
Flair.
Took
They
him
just won
outside.
Flair and them won the championship. The
Yeah.
Flair boys won the championship today.
Yeah, facts. I know
for
he
the,
ain't.
Kings
And I
Champions.
love that he's doing that.
Yeah,
You
shout
feel
out to
me?
the young
I love
guys.
that he's doing that with the young boys, and he already is winning shit and doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
when I took him outside, he hit the world by storm. 'Cause
Yeah.
little skinny kid from LG, nobody
Yeah.
ever seen him.
Yeah.
Took him up to Dykeman, and he's going toe to toe with all the top dudes. They like, yo, who that? You know what I'm saying? And then he just took off from there.
Facts. All right, so outside the Stompers.
You mean like period?
Yeah. Like it could be past, present. You feel
Yeah,
me?
I
Because I'll give
mean-
you my top 5 too. You feel me?
I
Go
know.
first.
It's top
I'll
five
go
right
first.
Now, this summer.
I go first. No.
Yeah.
From-
This summer.
All right,
Yeah,
so I
this
go.
You talking about street ball?
Listen,
Yeah,
I
we
go.
talking about
Listen.
street
So
ball.
right now I'm gonna go with my top 5 period, and then I will go my top 5 this summer.
Because a lot of shit
Yeah,
changed.
Right,
My top
facts.
5 period is I always go with Gino and Lily. Those are my
Right.
guys.
Yeah.
I go with who I go with third.
King.
I know Keanu third, Mac fourth, and I probably J Will.
Yeah,
J
I
Will
love,
5.
I love Jay. I love Mac.
Now this summer, cause this summer been a little bit different.
Definitely, a lot
Number
of it
one,
different.
I'm gonna go with my boy JC.
Okay, I
JC
love
been doing this
He
thing.
did his numbers.
Number 2, I still love my nigga Keanu. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like a lot of
God, I
teams.
love him.
If you pat, I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like a lot of teams, they're passing the ball, and teams are double team him, and he could pass
Yeah,
out.
he can make that
But
play.
like end of the game, everybody want to be the man, so they don't pass on the ball as much. So I
Right.
feel like it'd be harder for teams. But I say Keanu, JP, Jordan Parks.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah,
tough.
he was
He was
killing.
definitely tough this summer.
Number 4. See, I don't know because before J Will got injured, I was rocking with J Will as number 1. But I say J Will as number 4, and number 5. I'm gonna still go with Mac. He been balling. You feel me?
Yeah, Mac Queen start cleaning up.
Mac, you can't never count. Mac outworks everybody.
Facts.
Yeah.
It don't matter what's going on with his shot or whatever. He's a good teammate. He's a good leader, and he works hard. You can't put the measure on the effort. Like he could win it. He can have his hands on the game without scoring.
Yeah.
So that's why he's always going to be in my top 5.
Both sides of the ball too.
Yeah,
Defense.
He want the assignment.
Yeah.
Facts. I definitely love Mac. So my top 5 this summer, I mean, I'm going to go with the newcomers just because what they were able to do in positions that they were never in. Tyler Bourne, Cooley Poppy, my
Yeah, I
boy
was about to
Kev.
say-
Yeah, Kev get busy.
I like it was always a question because like I said, these are 2 dudes that have been nice. Tyler Bourne been nice. All through high school, he always gave me fits because he never wanted to play with me because I had all his boys and he just like it was too much.
Yeah.
So he would always play on other teams, But he always gave us a problem from as a little kid.
Yeah.
So I always knew what he could do because he was always that size and he always had to deal with the same adversity and he handled that with no problem. So I knew on the stage, if he was in the right place, he would be able to do the same thing because he never quit. He's not like he stopped. Or he went to college. His numbers was crazy still. So and it's
Right.
easy for him, So I knew he was going to do what he did. Kev too. Kev,
Alright, so-
another dog from Coney Island. My
Yeah.
boy is fearless.
Hold on, so let's get into Coney Island because this how you know when you a fire team, right? When you busting a team ass, I mean y'all might be up 4 or 5 points, and then niggas want to middle of third quarter timeout, and niggas want to bring in NBA players. Honestly, I just was like, damn, that's how they got to do it to these days. So what do you do when you facing that kind of adversity? You feel me?
See, the thing I find out with NBA players, a lot of times, it's a gift and a curse, though.
Yeah.
Because NBA, meaning they might have the talent, but they don't always, they're not always invested in the game the way they should be. So they might hurt you more than they help you. I've seen a lot of them come and hurt teams because they're not really playing to win. They don't really care.
Yeah.
It don't really matter to them. They want to play, but like that was for me. That was big for my boys.
Yeah.
I got my 2 college boys out there. He watching.
Yeah.
They about to lose, and he jumped out there and said he
Yeah.
going to do something about it.
That's
I said,
fire.
y'all should be proud of that. That he came to watch. He ain't come to play.
Yeah, but y'all
they had
made
to
him
find
play.
him sneakers.
That's gangster.
Don't get me wrong. He should have got a couple texts and all that.
Yeah, he pushing
They gave
Romy. I wasn't feeling that.
Yeah, they
he pushed
definitely gave
JC.
him.
But
but the Romy ain't the dude to push because
Nah,
Romy ain't going back
yeah,
down.
that's
no
my
matter.
boy.
But he thinks he wants to intimidate.
Yeah.
And for some dudes, that'll shake you up.
Yeah.
So he ain't going to do nothing
Nah,
to
I
you.
know,
But he
I
just
know.
want to do that. See if these young dudes can get in their head. Romy
them out they game.
Romy not going to be scared.
Nah, he
of
not
that.
having that. For that, that's the fort right
But I
there.
mean, like I said, that was huge for us. It was
Yeah.
big. Shout out to Coney Island.
But that's
It
what
was
I'm
a good
saying.
tournament.
When you a team, a strong team, that they got to go do that because not only did they bring an NBA player, they also brought in another ref. Like I just like wanted to know what was going on.
Because when you got that type of talent on the court, you
Yeah.
should have 3 refs though.
No, you should have 3
It should
refs.
have never not have
But
been 3 refs.
It should have been 3 refs from
from
the
the
start.
beginning.
You
like,
feel me?
I got Division I players on the floor.
Yeah.
Y'all got pros, dudes that was in NBA, all that. Like, there's no way that you don't have 3 refs for a game like that.
Yeah.
Because we was out there.
I ain't gonna lie.
We was out there.
First time out there was the middle of the summer. I done been to zone shit. That was what? Coney Island versus
SOG.
SOG.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best games I've been
Yeah,
to.
it was
I was
lit.
on the court,
Yeah, but
like,
they.
oh, this shit.
But let's talk about how they
First
cheated
time
the
in
Stompers,
Whitehead.
man. Because I feel like they cheated them. I was out there.
Yeah,
going,
nah, I ain't gonna front. I didn't really
it wasn't-
I didn't like how it went down, but like I said,
Yeah,
I'm not. Listen, I know how hard it is to run a league and to
Yeah.
be on all 4 fronts.
No. They
I don't
had
like
to listen.
say
They
it,
had
but
to
it
do
was
what
a
they
lot-
had to do.
It was
you
a
feel
lot
me?
of shit going on that I ain't like,
Yeah, I feel
but
you.
it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We still was a very winnable game with all that
Facts.
happened. And I feel like we missed some free throws late. We had a good look at the last second shot. Like Romy could have knocked that down. That would have been
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would have been legendary still. But I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
definitely
said,
was a good game.
Lance had to get dressed. So that was
that's
the
fire,
highlight
though.
of the night. you
Yeah,
feel
because
me?
like when you got to do that, it's like, you know what I mean? Because we was out there, man, and we like the only guys. I'm from Bed-Stuy, he from Canarsie. We rooting for BK Stompers. So just imagine us rooting for BK Stompers around 1 million Coney Island
Coney
niggas.
Island, right.
You know what I mean? We don't care because like fuck it, we going for our team. It's basketball.
Facts. I
You
love
feel
that.
me? But yeah,
I love
man,
that.
I was tight about that. I wish they would have got further. I wish it would have been the Stompers in the championship
Yeah, I
instead
would have
of
loved that. Too.
instead of
and then you gotta
fucking
understand
Coney Island.
half of the other team is my team too.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You
Yeah,
know what
Tyler
I'm
Vaughn,
saying?
Kev. That's why I said speaking to Tyler Vaughn and Kev.
Yeah,
you feel me?
facts.
But nah, I mean, it definitely was a great game, and that's why we appreciate guys like you just bringing that energy outside. Cause I mean, when the pandemic happened, we didn't get some of basketball.
facts.
That's a
Nah,
fact.
you know what I mean? So, and I
Lost
was
a few ball players
yeah,
too.
shout
Just
out
them
to
not being
Ryan.
outside.
Wasn't
not on
Ryan?
the
He
court.
was a stomper, right?
Yeah, for
y'all-
sure.
how many
That was
stompers
my
y'all
guy
lost?
from. Yeah, I mean, just in the basketball world, period. Like dudes being in the wrong place at the wrong time because there's no basketball going on. So you got dudes hanging out in their hood, getting shot and going through all kind of shit. So the basketball is really necessary, and it's a good thing.
Facts.
Like my guys, when they on the road with me in the summer, they missing all that shit that's happening in the hood.
Yeah,
By the
that's
time they
good.
get home, they not going to no block. They going in the crib
Yeah,
because
they
they
tired.
burnt
They-
out. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So, but I like that though. Like you'll come back and hear, yo, this happened. But you was in hoops in the sun, and then you went from there to Gersh, and now you dead at the end of the day. So you going in the crib, wake up the next day, do the shit again.
Facts. Facts.
Definitely. Shout out to Twan though. He said that in the first documentary joint.
He
He said that street basketball keep the crime down.
It do for sure.
That's a fact. Cause
And even to the point where the hood dudes starting to respect the tournaments, and the police presence is great. Like dudes ain't coming to tournaments to turn up no more.
Yeah.
And there's so much people there, there's nobody nowhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like you can't come there to do your business because the cops is there. So unless you trying to go to jail.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love it. I love what it does. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody going in the crib after that, anyways.
yeah, you burnt out like you said. Real talk. So like what you got in store for the future for the Stompers?
Like I said, we're gonna keep growing. You know what I'm saying? I like when like my thing with this be like people don't understand the financial sacrifice and the time sacrifice that you got to make. So I need dudes that's locked in. I don't need, especially now with all this money. This summer
giving out money,
they must have gave out $200K between New York and New Jersey.
Facts.
Oh,
Maybe
and
a
like
little bit more than
maybe
that.
more than
There's
that.
a bunch of little tournaments.
Right, facts. Even the little sneaky little weekend joints and all that, like they was giving the bread out. So if this is the case, any team, even if you won half of $200K or a quarter of
any of that,
$200K
if you
for
win.
summer ball, we've been playing for trophies, bullshit TVs, bags. You know, so now if this is going to be the new trend, it's worth everybody locking in and getting in that gym and coming. Like, look what ADC was able to do this summer.
Yeah, man.
Bunch of dudes in shape, ran everybody in the ground.
Yeah.
Like they might not have been, in my eyes, they wasn't the most talented team, but they was the best team.
Yeah.
They were the hardworking team. They pressed, like who dealt with a press like that?
Facts.
You ain't dealt with a press like that in years. Years.
I'm gonna tell you one thing
No,
about
but
ADC.
that's what I'm saying. Even in college, it's no answer for just sheer effort.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no press break. It's none of that.
That's a
It's
fact.
consistent. That's what the thing is. They will wear you down.
Yeah.
And they coach knew that, so he banked on that. You might beat the press a few times, and it might look good, but by the third, fourth quarter, the weed lungs is kicking in. And then people
So how you deal with
start
that?
doing.
How you deal with that, like as a coach, when they just pressing that hard?
It's tough. I mean, like I said, it's tough. If you got the right guys on the court, they could deal with the press.
Yeah.
But the problem is the consistency dealing with the press. As you make subs, different people that you put in the game got different IQs.
Yeah.
Once the tired starts hitting, like a lot of things start to lag. Like you niggas is missing free throws because they fatigue. Niggas ain't running the way they would. Like you get past the ADC play, you got 3 of them niggas chasing you. If they get a steal, it's 3 of them niggas at the rim waiting for you to miss so they can get the rebound. Like dudes on my team, they start running out of gas. So
That's a fact.
you gotta beat them. You can't like play with them. Cause it like every time we did lose to them, it went even when we beat them, it went to the wire. Whenever we lost to them, it was still to the wire because it was like we was leaving it on the court because dudes was burnt, tired.
Yeah, listen, I lost money that game because I fucking with the Stompers.
Right.
My man right here, he was fucking with ADC. You feel me?
Respect.
I feel like TV plays that game. I feel like Stompers win that game.
I feel like it could have been that. It could have
that's
definitely
just
been
me.
that.
You
But
feel
you gotta
me?
understand that game that you talking about, Gersh, right?
Yeah.
We missed 20 free throws as a team.
Yeah.
Damn.
You can't leave that much points on
That's
the
a
board.
fact.
And I'm not expecting us to hit all 20, but if we lost by 3, missing 20 free throws. So now we make half of that, which is still a bad shooting percentage.
Y'all win that game.
We win the game relatively comfortably. And we controlled the game the whole game. They came in the end, they took it. Shout out to that. That was tough. You know what I'm saying? That was real gritty. You feel me? But at the same time, like I said, the game was won. But you got like now if you don't score, if they're fouling you so you don't score and then you're not making the free throws, how do you win that? You know, you can't win that game, and that's not something I could coach or uncoach. Like, you know, all of the fake
you
coaches
can't
be
make
on the
nobody
side.
make a free throw.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate about Gersh. I hate all the fake coaches.
Yeah.
If you a coach and all the dudes that got all the answers, yo, Ron, you should have did this. I'm like, and I hear dudes in the back telling dudes, yo, why he got you on the bench?
Yeah.
Like, why you on the bench? Now everybody sucking their teeth at
that
me.
shit
Y'all hear them in the
everywhere.
background
Everybody go
wilding
through
like,
that.
oh, yo, why this bum ass nigga? Tell that nigga Ron put you in the game.
Yeah.
Why you on the bench? And you could be the 9th nigga on the team in a
matter.
rotation,
Yeah.
but your family members or your mans is telling you need to be in the game. Now this nigga sucking their teeth that don't normally get in the game.
Facts.
And I'm just like, yo, y'all be
We
going
watched that
crazy,
happen.
right? Like I hear, but Gersh be fucking niggas heads up.
Nah, I watched.
And you got niggas getting dressed after the game. Niggas be
Yeah.
mad. But then
I
they
done
want to
seen-
get back.
Before the game even start. Yeah.
Yo, all the time, bro. I be hearing, it's be crazy because I be trying to focus on coaching,
Yeah,
but
but
I
you
be
hear
hearing niggas.
Niggas so
yo, you hear
crazy.
niggas like, yo, this wrong nigga Ron's bugging. Why he got these niggas?
Yeah.
Why they not in the game? I'm like, nigga, because that nigga can't guard nobody. I be turning around responding sometimes like, nigga, that's your man that gets 30. That every nigga that want to get 30 could get 30 on him too.
Yeah.
So it's at times when you gotta make those decisions. Like it's not even about disrespecting nobody, but everybody doesn't do everything well. That's why there's specialists in the NBA. That's why there's specialists on teams. You got guys that do certain things. So you might be a great scorer, but you might not be a great defender. So if the other dude on the other end is a great scorer and I need a stop,
And then you gonna go for the defense.
I gotta go with the defender. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no disrespect, and it's not that he's better than you, but he might be better at this than you. Feel me? But even the dudes when you talk to them, they delusional. They don't understand that. I was like, yo, we're not trying to do a scoring battle. When we down, we need stops.
Yeah.
I don't want you to just I'm a score, he score, I score, he score until one of y'all miss. If we down, we need stops and we gotta score. You feel me? So that means I need a dude that could create a turnover some type of way. You know, like I know my team. Like I said, they not ADC. ADC is conditioned to press for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
They might let up a little bit in the fourth.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the team. If you ain't already blown out by then. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It's like there's no, you hear dudes, oh, you could just do this. Just throw it there, like, bro. If it was that easy, if it was that easy,
That's a fact.
dudes
Niggas
would do it.
say
And they're doing this to
lie.
top level pro. I seen them snuff out teams with top level dudes that individually are great players.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's a system. And they all buying in. It's no egos over there. They don't care if JC and Zay Station shoot 40 shots each.
Everybody else
They don't care if they
still
have
going.
6 or 2 or 4.
Yeah.
But Fridge is subbing them niggas 2 and 3 at a time. They running out there playing D. When he subbed them out, they coming out. Ain't nobody getting dressed.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody taking their shirt off. Ain't nobody talking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They trying to win.
Yeah.
So you gotta respect that as a team and a unit. You know.
Facts.
So and I tell my guys, look, that's something I want to emulate because we got more talent.
Yeah.
But if y'all dudes could get gritty like that, then
Yeah.
we'd have been up 100K easy.
Yeah.
Easy. But
Yeah.
you gotta be willing. Everybody, you know, you got dudes that's too cool. They don't want to look like they playing hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how you win, bro.
You
That's
gotta
not
play
how
hard
you
every
win.
play.
But see, that's the thing. Like when you get dudes that go to the NBA, we can all agree on this. You get to the NBA by being a standout in something. How many dudes are actually a standout in the NBA though?
Not a lot.
Right. So that
There's
means
so many.
everybody else to
Everybody's
keep
working.
their job, they gotta assume a position.
Facts.
So you might have got here for getting 30, but now you a 3 and D. You
Facts.
play D, you rebounding, you hustling.
You a catch and shoot.
Yeah, right. You turn into that, but
Yeah.
that's what you got to do to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how what you got to do to be effective as a player. Because it's only one ball. Everybody can't have the ball. So I tell guys, if you got the ability to do other things, you need to do it. If you're small, you have to guard. The little things like boxing out, shit gets lost.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, yo, listen, these are little things that make you better. You know, it's little things, but you got to get dudes to want to listen. But like I said, it's because there's a lot of other coaches that don't reinforce that. Yo, look, just come over and get 30. I don't care that you can't guard nobody. I don't care that you can't do all these other things, but you could get 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell dudes all the time, man, you got to think about a lot of shit. Now, even if you a dude that gets 30, but you ball heavy, you a point guard, you bringing up the ball, you shooting the ball every time. You're not giving nobody else no touches. By the end of the game, you're gonna be playing by yourself.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you've been playing by yourself all game. Nobody's touching it. What's making these dudes want to rebound for you or block shots for you or help you on defense? Why? They not touching it. So it's your job to keep them happy as well. That's a job. You know what I'm saying? That's something to do. If dudes don't touch the ball, you know, some dudes don't need a lot of touches.
Yeah.
Give him 2 or 3 touches so he could chill. He feel like he's doing something.
Yeah.
He's good. He gonna keep playing. You feel me?
Sometimes
Like,
everybody want to be the star. Sometimes.
yeah, you get that, but like I
Yeah.
said, you got to give them the buy-in. Like
Yeah.
you may have star capability, you know what I'm saying, but every game is not your game. Some
Facts.
game might be and if somebody else is cooking, you got to come on this bench and clear check
Or pass
you know,
the ball.
Yeah, fact. Keep giving it to them and clap it up.
That's a fact.
Let them shine. But a lot of dudes don't like to do that. You get those egos like, nah.
Yeah.
It's him, like, nah, it could be me. Like, I get dudes that do that all the time. You know this other nigga get 30, and I know you get 30 too, right? But you mad because he getting 30 today and not you.
Yeah.
So you on the bitch, yo, this
Tonight,
nigga
not
Ron.
your night.
This nigga Ron's playing himself today. Fuck that nigga Ron. I'm not coming to the next game.
So how do you coach somebody with a big ego?
I mean, there's so many of them. Like, like I said, they don't act like they have a big ego to themselves, but you just could tell. You can see
Yeah.
the body language, you see the energy. You just got to get them to try to buy in. This is a team. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about what you can do. We know what you could do, but today it's his day.
Yeah.
We got to let him rock. We got to play through him. Until that don't work no more, then we adjust the strategy. You feel me? Like,
Got you.
so that's, you know, you got to get the egos got to be let go if you want to win.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
If you want to win, you got to be willing, and you got to trust your teammates too. You got to know that this dude might be capable of doing all the same things as you. He might not do it the same way you do it, but he might be just as effective of a player.
Yeah.
So I mean, once you get your team to buy into that, and everybody can do everything, you'll be fine.
Facts. Okay. Got a question.
Oh nah, he was mentioning like he got enough talent, or if not more talent than ADC, like to buy into like.
Yeah, they have to buy into what's the difference?
I
You
want
got
to know how many players you got that smoke.
everybody.
Everybody.
The whole world smokes.
Yeah, NBA players, street.
But
ball
don't give
players.
it. But listen, that's just a level of conditioning.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
condition your body to be able to withstand that, everybody can't deal with that.
Yeah.
I be seeing niggas that look high on court, and I sub them out like, yo, boy, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what you was doing
What
before the
type
game.
of I feel my face you had today, but come over here and sit down, throw some water on you or something, because you looking crazy. Like sometimes some dudes could deal with that. It's like nothing for them. They on the court. It might be better that they smoked. Other dudes, they be out there looking
Yeah.
like zombies.
Yeah, not they day.
Yeah, so I know it's not even that. I'm just talking about the weed. It's more the weed. Like some of them be looking high.
Yeah.
Like you out there, everything is slow. The reaction's crazy. I'm like, boy, like you got to know your limits. I seen that happen.
Yeah.
I make those subs when I see when you got the high game out there. I got to
Yeah.
get you.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. So like, let me know high school and pro. What's like your hardest matches in the high school division, and then in the pros? Like if you could say one team in both.
You know, we always had our battles with Sean Bell.
Yeah, the Bell.
I like
yeah.
ADC now as a rival too, though, because it's a different style of basketball that you don't see every day. Who?
ADC.
You lost to them in any tournaments?
Who? Sean Bell?
No, ADC.
Gersh.
We lost to them in a couple
Gersh.
times. We beat them in LES. Then we lost to them in Gersh and Whitehead. But they was both like buzzer beater.
So now they on the top, they on the radar.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, Fridge is me and Fridge went to junior high school.
Fridge,
That's my
man.
man's from kids. Like we used to play ball together ourselves. So that we already knew that was gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? He just a live talking nigga. He always want to get on live and talk crazy. But then he the most humble nigga in the world when he take that L though. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Fridge though.
But
man.
like I said, I gotta respect the man that got a system that works. You feel me? I never no hate, especially a dude that I grew up with. You feel me? I respect that.
Yeah.
He came outside for real and he did his numbers.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's the first time I don't give dudes credit that's not outside like I'm outside.
Yeah.
The only other team that's outside like I'm outside before this year was Sean Bell.
Facts.
Well, we'll see them in multiple tournaments.
'cause a lot
Other
of these guys
dudes,
just coming
they
out.
might just be in Gersh. They might just be in Zone 6. They not going uptown.
Everything.
Uptown niggas wasn't coming to Brooklyn. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So now you starting to get that. So now you get to really see who's who.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's what I tell dudes. Y'all go outside for real. Because there's a couple uptown niggas that'll fry that ass too if you go up there playing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. That's the real test. Like you out here against everybody.
That's
like,
a fact.
you know, so that's what we did that like, you know, Sean Bell does the same thing. Wherever, like we done met them in Rochester for the bag. You feel me? Like we done seen them in Pro City this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rod talked a lot of shit. He ain't look good against the Stompers this year.
Listen, people been saying besides like ADC and Stompers been the hottest team this summer.
Oh, fact, we had a great summer, but I don't like being hot and not getting it done. You feel me?
I feel what you're saying, but I'm just saying with
I
the
like the
talks.
progress. I love
Same
it.
faces too. That's what
Yeah.
I like.
I like the progress. Like I
Yeah.
took Kev and Tyler Bourne to Pro City, which is a tournament they neither one of them ever played in. You know what I'm saying? It was our first year in Pro City, and we eliminated Sean Bell the first round of the playoffs. Rod came to the hood and told me that you know Pro City is different.
Yeah.
He's gonna have all of these guys, and he had all of those guys, and lost bad. You know what I'm saying? By like 20 first round of the playoffs. So you know that had to feel good. You know what I'm saying? Because my boy was talking crazy. Like I said, and we didn't do as well as I would like, but we made a good showing our first year in. You know what I'm saying? That we could just build off that. You feel me? Like
fire.
beating Sean Bell, that was I feel like they was defending champs if I'm saying the right thing. Getting them out in the first round was big. You feel me? So,
Y'all ever beat them in Gersh, like in the playoffs?
no, I don't think so. That's the only tournament they got us in. We beat them everywhere though. Like I feel like we the team that beat the most out of all these other teams.
Yeah.
You know, but this year they lost a lot. But they still managed to win some. They beat us in Hoops in the Sun in the chip, so I give them that.
Oh, that was
They-
Congratulations on your coach of the year.
Oh, dang.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
Facts. Hey, see, you
Coach of the
in
year,
tune, gang.
Hoops in the Sun.
Coach of the year.
Yeah, facts. That was a good one because we went undefeated, so to
Yeah,
lose, and
man.
then we was 3-0 against Sean Bell before that game. Like we played them 3 times in the summer, we beat them 3 times, and in that game we lost. That shit had me tight because you know I wanted to pitch a shutout, but still best summer we ever had against them.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
So if you had an estimate, like how many championships you feel like you played in?
in my all my years,
Yeah, oh yeah, win, lose, or draw.
high school. Shit, I won West Fork. It was one year I won West Fork High School and Pro same year. I won Dykeman High School twice. I won. I mean, I don't want no kind of winter tournaments. I don't know. Probably you championships I've been to. I damn near been to every championship in the city except
You gotta start doing that.
Dykeman.
Dykeman,
I've been to the semis a few times. Oh no, on a pro level, I've been to the semis. I never been to the championship in Dykeman. But in high school, I won 2 Dykeman championships.
Okay.
But I've been to the championship like 7 times.
Yeah.
But we only was able to actually pull it out twice.
Do they keep the stats?
What do you mean?
Championship stats?
I mean, they know all the teams that go to the
I'm talking
shit
about
every
from
year.
past years.
Yeah, they know. They know. I don't know how far back they go.
But we need to get those stats.
But they know, because it was the time, and before I got my first Dykeman chip, we was in the championship the year before that and the year before that, and we just lost because they was going crazy. Like, they fly dudes in for their Dykeman championship. Like, it usually is the Dykeman team, and they're flying dudes, the top dudes to come back to play, like. So, you know, I would just have my regular team so they would get us. But then that one year, they did all the flying in, but we still got the W.
Yeah.
And then, like, recently, we won it again, like 2 years ago in high school.